Hi, my name's Dan. Today we're going to work on switching this switch around from the bottom of this to the top side of it. So I'm going to give you a step-by-step detailed instruction on how to do this. What you're going to need to do the job is a pair of side cuts, a number 2 Phillips screwdriver, a 3/8 end wrench, and one plastic zip tie. So let's get going on it. First we're going to take the screws out of the box cover. There'll be 4 of those to take out. Pull the cover off. Okay, now we're going to take the screws that hold the switch to the frame. There's the screws that are holding this bracket on you can't get to, so we got to take the whole switch off in order to do that. So we're going to use the 3/8. And we're going to take the lower one out of it. Okay, I'm going to pull the switch loose. You're trying to hold a few components here all at once, so it's a little bit tricky. Okay, got your little can, and there's your switch. Okay, now that we got the switch out, there's a little tab here that you pull back, and that'll release the wiring from the plug. You can have a plug here, and that's how you unplug that. And then you're going to snip this little wire tie that's on it, being careful not to cut any wires while you do it. Okay. We'll just set this aside, set the switch aside. Now we have to turn the bracket around. Okay. Okay, now we got that out. There's this little plate that's going to be in there. So what we want to do now is just turn this completely around in the opposite direction.
And you can't spin that because that would have put this larger tongue in the bottom.
Exactly.
Wrong
Yep, you have to
orientation.
take it off and literally turn it around because you want the tongue, the tongue that's longest pointing upward. We'll set our plate back in here. And make sure when you put this together, the screw goes in from the top, because the thickness of the nut won't allow the switch to go back on if you put the screw in from the bottom. So make sure the screw goes in from the top. Okay. Now we're gonna snug them up. And you want to take them down equally because you have a little gap right in this area here. I don't know if you can see it, you probably can, but that gap, you want to try to keep that equal so you're not pushing it all the way down one way and then you got a high gap on the other. You just want them to come down equal to pinch this. And at this point, you want to make sure that your bracket is running parallel to this part of the handle. So everything's going to be running in the same direction. And I have also found that in cases like this, the screwdriver tries to slip. It's easier to tighten the nut and use a screwdriver for holding rather than using the screwdriver to twist the screw when you're in a tightening mode. So there, we got it good and tight. It's not moving. So now we'll start our reassembly here. The switch is going to be mounted back on it like this. So we have to have our box as well. And on our box, you're going to notice there's an offset of this hole. It's more offset to one side than the other. You want that short side of this hole, from the hole to the edge, to point in this direction here to the top side of the switch. That would be the proper way of mounting that back on. That way everything stays uniform together here. So I'm going to get my screws ready. This bracket here will just take a little bit of adjusting because it does move on here, so you want to get your screw holes lined up. At this point here, and we want our screws to come in from the bottom like this. And then we're going to set our box on there, making sure that our short side is up here, like that. And put a nut on it, just to help hold it in place. Okay, when we put our bottom screw in, I'm gonna get it in there first. Matter of getting all your pieces lined up. Okay. Now when you do that, you'll notice on your wire you have a little tie on there, little hook. You want to put that on at this point and make sure that you have enough wire coming through so you can bend this around.